Multiple orgasms have a certain effect, this is true. Liberal women have a certain look. Everyone know it, but nobody says it. There's your problem. If you have to play all the past games to enjoy the current one, then it's not a good game. People like you are the reason we see Batman's parents die in every movie, cause you don't understand the concept of sequels. Gus's skiing has been utter shit since he made everything about being gay. More time on the hill, less time on your knees is probably a good start, Gussie. In the 3-ish years since I've come out, I've won the DO Tour, the European Open, won 4 X Games medals, won a Grand Prix, defended my world champion title and qualified for my 2nd Olympics. So, I'd say the only thing that's utter shit is your fact checking. Who the fuck left this on my car in lot 30? I just wanna talk. Many 3-year-olds have trouble staying within the lines. Maybe if you practice coloring this turtle, it will help with your parking. 213 seen it? 148 seen it? 108 seen it? It's funny, I work at a science museum for families and children. Lots of time I'll do experiments that kids have seen before, but I'll do my best to put a fun spin on it to keep things interesting. But every time, without fail, there's at least one kid in the audience that gets up out of his seat, waves his hand and goes on and on about how he's seen this before, because he's totally convinced that it will make everyone think he's smart. Instead, it usually comes off as annoying and insecure. Since you're clearly really smart, since you made 3 separate comments about how you've seen this before, I'm sure you can guess what I'm getting at. The orgasms y'all can't give. Girls watch porn too? To achieve what exactly? Hey, so measles is making a comeback because of anti-vax bullshit. I mean, smallpox and polio were pretty great too, right? Hey, why stop there? Let's bring back rabies. Don't get meds at all for anything, since it's all produced by Big Pharma. Just eat kale and huckleberries and use thoughts and prayers while you step on nails in the back 40. That insulin is for losers. Thyroid meds can be replaced by drinking goat's blood. Tetanus and diphtheria are a lot of fun this time of year too. Fuck it. Let's throw in some yellow fever and malaria, just to be inclusive. America is divided. Irrevocably divided. And that's okay. It's just the way it is. I always forget that famous Lincoln quote. A house divided, irrevocably divided, is okay just the way it is. The piece of shit known as R. Kelly deleted my tweet because my reply got more likes. That's an L. Why do you hate him so much? I'm late on the Dark Dolan lore. Other than the fact he rapes children, I don't know really. I have now made 3 tweets, each asking Democrats to deny are the party of Satan. Many hundreds of replies. 0 denials. And remember, Democrats troll my feed constantly. Perhaps is illiterate because every time he does this our mentions explode with people arguing with him about it. Or maybe he just ignores anything that doesn't confirm his preconceptions. Either way, it's childish and boring. Please stop. No vaccine in my day, or my kid's day, and hey, we all got it and survived. I guess the older generations were just more robust than today's tender flowers. If you hate advancement and the improvements modern technology has brought us so much, get off Facebook and carve your whining into a stone tablet. Petition to change. He looked at her like she was the sun too. He looked at her like she was the moon, and any other variation because I look at the moon in wonder and love and amazement while I've only ever just squinted angrily at the sun. He looked at her like she was the sun, in that he never looked at her except in frustration. He basked in her warmth, he complained when she was gone, but he never looked. On days she was muted, he complained. On days she was stronger, he hid from her. He'd never looked at her until she was leaving, and in the beauty of sunset he wondered how he'd never seen her before. Dude. Happy Sunday. So what has made you smile this weekend? Besides matching me? I'd say mine is volunteering for the Tim Tebow Prom for Mental Disabilities. I am headed to Bloomington today, and if my Hoosiers could win, I'm sure that would complete my weekend. Very pretty girl, by the way. Oh, that's super cool. But how's your arm? What do you mean? Oh, I thought you broke it patting yourself on the back. Can sex doll cook your meals? Can sex doll have your kids? Can sex doll wash your clothes? Can sex doll make your home? What's it? You are really triggered. TBH, ain't no sensible man that is buying that shit. So, cause of sex doll, y'all women suddenly think it's a women's duty to cook, wash and take care of the home. Dear white politicians, do not go to black churches and tell them how much you hate racism. Go to white churches and tell them. There are white and black churches. Yes. And if you want to know why, you should see how black people would be treated in some white churches in the South. David G. McAfee, LOL, as if you'd know. Stephen, I do know, but not because I'm a person of color. I know because my grandparents were from the South, and I heard how they and their friend talked about black people. I know because my grandparents were church-going people who believed extremely false and inflammatory things about other races. I know because I saw it firsthand, from people I loved. If the comic is going to have shitty art, it should at least be consistently shitty. Right now it seems like some things, like shading, are being done overly well to compensate for the shortcomings in other aspects, like anatomy and color theory, and it just look weird. /r/I am very artistic. It looks like /r/I am very artistic is not a subreddit. Maybe you're looking for /r/I am very autistic with an 87.5% match. I'm a bot. Beep boop. Downvote to delete. r/murdered bibot. Apparently church, family, police, military, and the national anthem are things the left hates. I think we would all be a lot better off if we embraced those values that allowed us to become the greatest nation in the world. And what part of all of the below do not apply to your father? He never goes to church, he never served, he's undermining our law enforcement, and he's an adulterer. So basically, that just leaves the national anthem. This bridge is only 99.997% safe. I think I'll swim. Anti-vaxxer logic. Being anti-vax is like choosing to swim across a crocodile-infested river instead of using the bridge because you're scared of the bridge collapsing. I'm not going into that water because someone told me there are a crocodile in there that will eat me. My friends and family have swam through, and were never bothered by a crocodile, but I'm going to stay out of that water just in case. And I'm going to stand here and harass anyone who dare goes into that water. If you go into that water, then I will get eaten by a crocodile even though I use the super safe bridge that I trust blindly. We have a documented history of people dying from crocodile in the water. We've seen it, we've treated their injuries, and many have died. We use the bridge because it's safer. It's been built according to government regulation and safety standards and passed quality control before it opened. It was created using world-class technology and the world leaders in the field of engineering. There are third world countries that don't have bridge over their crocodile-infested waters and people die. Whenever people try to build bridge in those areas, they get harassed and bullied and called shills for big bridge by conspiracy theorist parents who have never worked in construction or even seen an engineering textbook, who have done a 5-minute Google search on how bridge work and who think that just because they've never seen a crocodile above the water means that there are none lurking below. If I had a nickel for every time I've had sex, I would have a best comments. I already received a BA, MA and PhD in history and I've been teaching it for 2 decades. In your expert opinion, how much longer will I have to go before I finally get it? You need to learn history. Just spouting off a bunch of words doesn't make it fact or believable. And it is evil. Your ignorance is showing. Renewable energy, dumbest phrase since climate change. See the first law of thermodynamics, dumbass. Unlimited breadsticks. That is physically impossible. I scream, slapping the plate out of the waiter's hands. Budweiser just spent $5 million on a commercial to brag about donating $100,000 worth of water. So they donated $100,000 Bud Light? Step aside cause the real big guy is here. Where's your neck, Brandon? I don't know, where's Jake at? Rest in peace, Jake. October 19th, 16. Actual good video coming in like an hour or 2. Of awesome. Who's posting it? If you were granted 2 wishes, what would you wish for? I'd wish for more wishes. And what would you wish for with said wishes? I'd wish for $1 million and release all animals in zoos and all the dogs and cats in shelters and build one massive property for all the animals. Nothing for yourself? Selfless, I like it. That is doing something for myself. That being said, logistically, how big a property do you think you'd be able to build with only $1 million? I mean, in the scheme of things, that's not a hell of a lot of money to play with when you're talking about building an enclosure for hundreds of thousands of different animals, including elephants and rhinos and lions and shit. I mean, for $1 million you wouldn't exactly be able to build the most spacious environment for the animals. Chances they would probably be living in worse conditions than if they were left in the zoo. Not to mention the logistical nightmare and cost to transporting all of said animals from all around the world to the one enclosure you have built. And think of the economical impact this will have on places like San Diego, where their zoo is a huge tourist draw. I mean, you could be putting people out of jobs. It's 2:55 in the morning. Please shut up. I'm just worried about the animals. It is 2:55 in the morning, please stop. When a British captive officer challenged French Navy officer Surcouf with the words, "You French fight for money while we fight for honor," Surcouf replied, "Each of us fights for what he lacks most." Destruction 100. Their first injection was vaccination. Protect your children from vaccinations. Vaccinations leave a lasting psychological belief that injecting is beneficial. Studies have shown that children who are vaccinated are 85% more likely to inject heroin than those who are not. Vaccinations. Don't lose your child to drugs. That's because vaccinated children live long enough to know what heroin is.